click then paragraph. Okay, now you will see there's a line page break option and an indent spacing. This will be your default open up. So it will open up in the indent and spacing, and this is where you want to be. They said that the spacing before, just want to make sure on that. They said that our spacing before should be 6 point and the paragraph spacing after 12 points. Okay, so we'll go back to this and we'll say before, can you see it says there's spacing, before must be 6 and after must be 12, and then the line spacing must be exactly at 12 points. Okay, so you can have an option there of saying multiple, at least, double, etc. Okay, I think they actually said, let's just make sure that it must be at least. Let's just make sure that that's the option they give. Yes, they say at least. So you are going to click on the option at least there by the line spacing. And can you see how it has changed? Okay, so that's the first one. The second thing they're asking you there by 7.1 is to find and replace the exact word learn to appear in a red font and highlight. Okay, so they are giving us a editing, they're giving us the word, and they're also telling us what it must change to. Okay, so let's quickly have a look. Find and replace is found under your home ribbon. You're going to go to replace, not to find, to replace. And you're going to say, what do you want to find? Okay, now if you quickly just have a look back at that, you will see that it asked for find and replace the exact word learn. Okay, so you're going to type in the word and it must look exactly like that word. If learn is given to you as a capital letter or the first sentence capital letter, you have to type it in just like that. And the reason for that is your computer is going to look for exactly that. Okay? It says the exact word. So let's say you've got a word inside of your document that says learning. If you have a look here, it says learning. They are asking only for learn to be edited. So if you don't make the choice, okay, and you have to click on more to make the choice of find whole words, it's going to highlight learning as well because learn form parts of learning. Another example is male in female. Okay, so if you have to replace the word male and it only needs to be that specific word, you'll have to specify it. Other words, the word female will also be replaced. Okay, I hope that's clear. So you're going to find it and you're going to replace it with the whole words only. So you don't have to actually put in anything there. The other thing that needs to be replaced, and you'll obviously use the replace with if it had to be changed to study, to a new word, you had to click in their study, but that's not what they've asked. Okay, so if we go back to this, we see that it actually also needs a red font and an highlight. Now, those two are what we call formatting options. Okay, so you're going to click on format and that is actually a font setting. Okay, you also get paragraph tabs, language style, and highlight. We'll go to highlight now. But first off, we're going to go to font. And they are asking us for a red font. Okay, so the font color is going to be red. Now, just take note in your computer practice exams, you're not making hard copies. Sorry, you are making hard copies, but you're not printing in color. So, there is no way for the examiner to see this. So, they will most probably ask you things like an underline style or maybe to make it bold or a type of font. Okay, but in this case, let's leave it as the question is asked. And then, so you're going to click on OK. And then we're not done. There also needs to be a highlight. So we're going to go to format. We're going to choose highlight. And that's it. Can you see there it is? Its font color is red, it's highlighted, and it's the whole words only. Then you're going to say replace all. Okay, there was only one replacement made. Okay, and I actually think that the reason why it's one is because it actually worked in this one and not in this one. Okay, so let's quickly just do it in this document. The first thing for find and replace is to make sure that your cursor is in the top of your document. You're going to go to home, you're going to go to replace, you're going to say whole words, learn, it's already formatted, it's highlight, replace all. Okay, looks like there ain't any. Um, okay, not supposed to be like that, but maybe we've missed one of the things here. Okay, but that is how you will replace and find the word exactly learn. It's actually changed it on the question paper. Okay, let's quickly go to the next one. The next one says that you have to, I just quickly want to see, it says here read only. So let's just quickly save this as a normal document. Okay, just going to save it there. Maybe that's the problem. It looks like it is. Okay, so I'm quickly just going to do my paragraph settings. Everything is done there. Okay, let's try for that find and replace again. So we're going to go to home. We're going to replace that. Everything is done. Replace all again. No. Okay, maybe they're going to, that's supposed to actually change. There's a learn. So I'm not sure why they're not giving us that option. Find one. Okay, whole words format highlight. I see what the mistake here is, and I'm actually glad this happens because this happens a lot with students as well. Can you see while I was busy editing, my cursor was actually in finding what? So now the computer is actually looking for the word learn. They're looking for whole words and they're looking for words that's highlighted. Therefore, there is no replacements. But that shouldn't be there. It should be on this one. Okay? So we have to go and say, please take off the formatting. So no formatting. Okay? Let's see if it's going to replay. Yes, there it's working. Okay, wonderful. Now you've learned something that sometimes happens to you. Can you see that learn has been replaced, but not learning because we looked for whole words only? Okay, let's go to the next one. It says they locate the paragraph below the heading for take a free and ensure that the indentation is similar to the other paragraphs. Okay, so let's quickly locate that. Number 4. Okay, so you can see now this is not what we want. It looks like it's first line only. Okay, so there's two ways in which you can do it. You can go and put your cursor on there and say you want the format painter, which is under home. And then you can actually go and click on this whole thing. Then it's going to change it to exactly as the others. So the format painter gives you the option of changing it exactly as the others look. But the thing with the format painter is it will also change your font size and everything. So another option is, I'm just going to control Z that, is to actually make sure that everything is left aligned at 0. Okay, so you're going to make it 0 and you're going to say none and you're going to say okay, and then it also should look fine. Okay, and then if you're not sure, if your eyes are not as practiced as mine to see what it is, you can actually click on that paragraph and go into the setting to see what the setting is. Okay, then you can see it was none. There was a single line and everything else was 0. Okay, so that's the other way in which you can see how it will look similar, because it doesn't give you specifications, it just says similar. The next question there says, insert odd and even page numbers at the bottom of each page in the page 1 format. Ensure that all odd pages appear on the right and the even pages appear on the left. Okay, so Page numbers is used or is actually inserted by using either your insert button. You can go to page number, or you can double click in your footer or your header depending on what they've asked. I think in this instance they actually ask for the bottom of the page. So the top of the page would mean a header, a bottom of the page would mean a footer. So you will click in there, or like I said, you can just go to insert page number and you can say bottom of page. Now they have given us the style. The style was page 1, that looks in italic. So they're not actually giving us the name of the style. That is the name of the style, page number 1. Let's just make sure that we are using the correct one. It says page 1 format. Okay, so we're going to use bottom of page, page 1 format. I'm just going to see if I can find that. It should be in on here, if that is the one that I use. So you can scroll down until you find a specific one. That is actually the page number 1, although it's not written out, but I'm going to leave it as is just for the sake of this. I'm just going to quickly see if we can say footer. There's also not one of those. Okay, I can't seem to find that specific one. Okay, they say they want the odd numbers 1, 3, 5, 7, etc. to the left and the others to the right. Okay, so there's a couple of ways on how you could do it. The first one is to actually say you want different odd and even numbers. Okay, so what's going to happen now is it's going to take away all the even numbers. Okay, so that's the best option to do. Then you can go to the second page, and if you're unsure, you can actually look there. It says page 2. So we are on page 2 now. Remember, it has to be right aligned. So you're going to go to home and you're going to say, okay, take me to the right align. That shouldn't be changed because it's set. Okay. And then you're going to say, okay, let's see if we have to go back now and say we want page numbers at the bottom of the page. Okay, and we're going to choose that option again of page. Can you see it's going to work? Because now my odd numbers is left, my even numbers is right, and it can go right through to the bottom. Okay, so that's the option there. The next option there says that you need to ensure that the image on the last page displays properly without changing the image size. Hint, you change the layout of the page. Okay, now let's go to the last one. Can you see this is my page? Okay, now we have to change the orientation. And by changing the orientation, we'll go to layout in the ribbon and we'll choose a landscape orientation, because remember they said you're not allowed to resize this. You can't make it smaller. Okay. But now look, if I go and choose landscape at the moment, can you see it's going to change my whole document to landscape? And that's not what they ask. They say only the last page, and you will see it's 3 marks. Okay. So in order for your document, and I'm just going to quickly zoom out so that you can see what I'm trying to say. In order for your document to see the last page as a different section, you have to tell the computer, I want page 1, page 2, and page 3 in portrait. But the last page you need to see differently. So it's almost like you draw an imaginary line, okay, below page 3, telling the computer this is now a new section. Okay. So you can either go to the end of your last page and actually say you want to insert a break. Now, important, remember in Infor we used a page break. Then the computer is literally going to insert a new page. Look at this. Can you see? This is not what we want. We don't want a blank page in between page 3 and 4. We also don't want a column break because we're not working in columns. Okay. We want a section break. So it keeps the pages together without inserting a new blank one. But it inserts a section break and starts a new section on the next page. That is what we want. So we're going to click on next page, and now it's moved it downwards again. Okay, now there's a couple of ways into fixing this. You can actually go and say, please delete that. I don't want a page break. Okay, there is a section break. Okay, now you have to click on the page. Okay, on the page you want the layout to change, and then go to landscape, because if you keep your cursor here, it's going to change this of this page. It's going to change this to the portrait. So if you look at it now, you'll see the 3 pages is portrait and the last one is landscape. Okay, let's look at the last part of the question 7. It says insert the file name in the header of the last page only. Ensure that the name will automatically update when it changes. Okay, so you need to insert the file name in the header. So it's the 7 skills. That is what we want. I'm just going to copy it here. You'll have to type it in because you won't have the digital copy in front of you. We're going to go into the header. Now, if you struggle to go into the header, you can always go into insert and say header. Okay. So now they want the field to, they want it kind of feels like they want a field name in here, because if it needs to update, you'll have to say, okay, we want the, probably it's not the author, it's not the company, we want a title. So we're going to put in a form, and we're going to say title. Just want to make sure why it's not displaying correctly. Let's just make it a bit bigger. There it is. Okay, so there is your skills. And so when it's updated, it will automatically update everything. I just want to make sure that it's not anywhere else, and it's not supposed to be. Okay, so let's just quickly see. It's not supposed to be on any of the others. So let's take that out. Okay, the computer needs to see this as the only this section. Okay, so we are going to have to tell the computer that it needs to go in. I'm going to make this bigger. Okay, so let's quickly have a look. So we're going to go into the header, and we're going to say, okay, let's use the quick parts. Okay, we're going to put in a field. We're going to say it's the title. Okay, and then preserve formatting during updates. Okay, so you're going to say, yes, that's what I want. Okay, quick parts field. We want the title. And we want it to, let's just make it title case. It didn't give us an option, so we're just going to say okay, and we're going to insert it there. Okay, and I'm not, then it's not supposed to do anything else, but let's just quickly see here. This must actually also then be in its own section. Okay, so you'll just have to tell the computer now that you want it completely different. You don't want it to be linked to the previous. Okay, so you're going to say, listen, please take it off being linked. So the only way in which you can do it is to link to previous. So make sure that when you look at this, can you see when I click on that, that has disappeared? Okay, so now you will see that those skills, if I delete it everywhere else, which is just that one space, it will still stay on the same page. Okay, so that's then question 7.